The date is April 2nd, 1989. Trump Plaza in Atlantic City buzzes with anticipation as Dino Bravo makes his way to the ring at WrestleMania 5 to face rugged Ronnie Garvin. His muscular frame and cocky demeanor command attention as he is the self-proclaimed world's strongest man, a solid mid-card talent who consistently delivers engaging matches. The capacity crowd of close to 19,000 raucous fans shower him with boos as he flexes and preens, playing the perfect heel. Not a single person in attendance that night could have imagined that less than 4 years later, Bravo would be discovered dead in his Quebec home, his body riddled with 11 bullets, the victim of what investigators believe was a mob hit related to cigarette smuggling. His brutal murder remains unsolved to this day, and WWE has largely erased him from their historical narrative, rarely acknowledging his contributions to the company during the transformative 1980s boom period. Number 2, this selective amnesia regarding deceased performers would unfortunately become a recurring theme in the decades that followed. In 2009, the wrestling world was shaken by the death of Edward Fatu, better known as Umaga, who suffered a fatal heart attack at just 36 years old. Here was a man who had revolutionized what a super heavyweight could do in the ring, combining devastating power moves with surprising agility that defied his 350-pound frame. His feuds with John Cena and Jeff Hardy produced some of the most memorable matches of the late 2000s. But beneath the face paint and success lay a troubled soul battling substance abuse issues. When WWE mandated he enter rehabilitation, Umaga refused and was subsequently released. 6 months later, he was found unresponsive in his Houston home, having suffered a heart attack brought on by acute toxicity of multiple drugs. Number 3, the tragic tale of Tony Halm, known professionally as Ludwig Borga, seemed destined for superstardom with his 1993 Federation debut. Positioned as an unstoppable foreign heel, Borga immediately made waves by ending Tatanka's 2-year undefeated streak. However, his promising run would be cut short by injury, and his post-wrestling life spiraled into a maze of controversy and mental health struggles. After failed attempts at both political office and acting in Finland, including a controversial stint in the Finnish parliament, Halm's demons finally overtook him. He died by suicide in 2010 from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. WWE remained conspicuously silent, perhaps wanting to distance themselves from his controversial political views and troubled final years. Number 4, Chris Kanyon's death in 2010 forces us to confront particularly uncomfortable questions about the wrestling industry's treatment of mental health and sexual identity. A gifted technical wrestler known for his innovative offense and ability to make any opponent look good, Kanyon struggled with both depression and his sexual identity throughout his career. His suicide at age 40 came after years of mental health battles and his public coming out as gay. The sudden death, accomplished through an overdose of antidepressants, raised serious questions about the psychological toll of hiding one's identity in such a hyper-masculine environment. Number 5, the 2003 death of Crash Holly struck particularly deep within the wrestling community. Michael Lockwood had created one of the most beloved characters of the Attitude Era, a scrappy underdog who claimed to be a super heavyweight, despite his modest size. His innovative 24/7 defense of the Hardcore Championship produced countless memorable moments, with Holly having to defend his title in locations ranging from airports to amusement parks. However, like many others, the transition to life after wrestling proved overwhelming. Found dead in wrestler Stevie Richards' home from an apparent suicide via prescription drug overdose, Holly's passing received minimal acknowledgement from the company he had helped entertain millions for. The man who had brought so much joy to audiences was reduced to a footnote on WWE.com. Number 6, Visera, known variously as Mabel and King Mabel, embodied the evolution of the super heavyweight in professional wrestling. His ability to adapt and remain relevant through multiple character iterations spoke to his underappreciated versatility. When Frazier died in 2014 from a heart attack, just days after his 43rd birthday, it highlighted the health risks faced by wrestlers of his size. Despite a career spanning over a decade with the company, WWE's acknowledgement of his death was perfunctory. The broader conversation about the health challenges faced by super heavyweight wrestlers and the industry's responsibility to address them remained unspoken. Number 7. Lance Cade's death in 2010 at the heartbreakingly young age of 29 epitomizes the human cost of the wrestling business. Trained by Shawn Michaels and blessed with a combination of size, skill, and charisma, Cade showed immense promise early in his career. Many insiders pegged him as a future world champion, particularly during his successful tag team run with Trevor Murdoch. His release in 2008, following a seizure on an airplane, marked the beginning of a tragic decline. When he died from heart failure due to mixed drug intoxication 2 years later, WWE's response was minimal, despite him having performed for them just 2 years prior. Number 8. Fernandez, known professionally as Hercules, represented the classical ideal of what a professional wrestler should look like during the 1980s. His phenomenal physique and intensity made him a credible opponent for anyone, including Hulk Hogan during the height of Hulkamania. His transformation from a noble warrior to a slave of Bobby the Brain Heenan, complete with chains and shackles, demonstrated his versatility as a performer. Yet when he died in 2004 from heart disease at age 47, after years of battling various health issues, WWE barely acknowledged the passing of a man who had been a cornerstone of their roster during their most profitable era. The questions about how his wrestling career and lifestyle may have contributed to his early death went unasked. Number 9. Andrew Test, Martin's story reads like a cautionary tale about the pressures of professional wrestling. Blessed with an impressive physique and natural athleticism, Test seemed destined for main event status when he debuted in 1998. His high-profile storyline engagement to Stephanie McMahon and subsequent betrayal marked him as a star on the rise. However, despite multiple pushes and repackaging attempts, Test never quite reached the heights many predicted. His 2009 death from an accidental overdose at age 33 came just days before his 34th birthday. Despite his significant role in major storylines and multiple runs with the company, WWE's acknowledgement of his death was brief. The broader questions about what led to his substance abuse issues and whether more could have been done to help him remained unaddressed. Number 10. Sha OHare represented wrestling's future when he debuted in the early 2000s. Athletic, charismatic, and trained in mixed martial arts before it became commonplace, his innovative offense and unique devil's advocate character showed immense promise, with many considering him a potential breakout star. His character, a smooth-talking manipulator who encouraged people to indulge their darker impulses, was years ahead of its time. However, his run never reached its potential, and after leaving wrestling, OHare struggled with depression and substance abuse. His death by suicide in 2014 raised uncomfortable questions about how the industry supports performers after their in-ring careers end. WWE's minimal acknowledgement of his passing seemingly ignored both his contributions to the business and the broader implications of his struggles. Number 11. Matt Bourne's portrayal of the original Doink the Clown brought a level of psychological depth rarely seen in wrestling personas. What could have been a flat, one-dimensional character, a typical circus clown, became something far more sinister under Bourne's skillful interpretation. He transformed Doink into a disturbing and complex antagonist, one who delighted in the misfortune of others and left a lasting impression on audiences. The intricacy he infused into the role set a standard that influenced countless performers who followed in his footsteps, proving that even outlandish characters could possess genuine depth and darkness. However, Bourne's personal life was marred by struggles with substance abuse, a battle that would tragically define his later years. In 2013, he passed away from an accidental overdose of morphine and hydrocodone, a tragic end to a gifted performer's life. Despite creating one of the Federation's most iconic characters, Bourne's contributions and personal struggles received only fleeting acknowledgement from the company. Though his story ended in darkness, Bourne's legacy burns bright in the memories of those who witnessed his remarkable journey. If you're ready to discover how this unforgettable performer came to be, then go ahead and click the thumbnail that's appearing on your screen right now, and I'll see you there in just a moment. Thank you for watching.